Hey everyone, welcome to another walkthrough video of Excel Wonders. We're going to look at a tool called competitive analysis. This is the perfect tool to help you visualize how you and your brand or your business stacks up against your competitors on a variety of different factors. So when you open the file, you should see this page here. But before we talk about this page, where the grid will be created, let's go on settings and see what it can do here, which is essentially one thing. You can change the name of how your brand or business is defined. So for example, here I have my brand and P. If I click here on competitive analysis, here it is. But if I change that to just my brand, then I go back to competitive analysis and it adjusts. That's pretty much the only thing you can do in settings. In competitive analysis, you can do a few things. So first, you can manage the list of competitors. Competitors are displayed as columns. And right now, you have 0 competitors here. You only have one column which represents your brand. To add new competitors, you click here, new competitor, and you add a new column. Now let's imagine I want to add 4 competitors. You just click this button 4 times. You will call this one 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's imagine I made a mistake. It was not really 4, I wanted 3, so therefore I want to delete one of the competitors. Let's say I want to delete competitor number 2. I click on number 2, which is this column here, and I click here to delete, confirm, and it's deleted. You can add a maximum of 10 competitors. Now let's look at how we manage this part here, which is the rows, which is essentially 2 things. One is sections and the other one is factors. Sections are agglomerations of factors, and factors are the measures, metrics that you want to compare your brand or your business against your competitors. So if I click here on, for example, this one test, there's a few things I can do. I can, for example, create a new factor, which is this one. I click here new factor and it added a new one. This new factor, I can move it down, I can move it up, so I can reorder these however I want. I can also create a new section, which is when you click here new section, it opens this window which allows you to then define 2 things. The name of the section, let's call it, for example, test 2, and then the type of section. Let's, for example, start here with sum, which I'll show you what it is. You confirm, yes, and it adds a new section. Now I'm going to add new factors within this section. Let's say I added 3 factors. Let's call this 2.1. Let's call this one 2.2, and this one 2.3. Now as I add here numbers, let's say for example 40, 40, 20, what it does is that it sums all these numbers here in the consolidation. Why? Because I set this section as a sum. Now, if I do the same here for any competitor, let's say, for example, 15 and 40, it does the same thing. It sums and sums to 55. And you can add numbers here in this grid however you want. Now, imagine I made a mistake. I didn't want to see the sum. I wanted to see an average. So you click here on the section, you click edit section, and you can change that to an average. If I save changes, now it shows me the average of the numbers. Now, imagine that I want to see a Boolean. So I click here on Boolean, and let me explain you what Boolean is. Boolean essentially looks at what factors for every column I have values for. So for example, for my brand, I have values for these 3 factors and shows those and therefore shows 3 out of 3. Here I only have factors for 2. So here it is, 2 out of 3. Here I have numbers for 0 factors out of 3, and that's why I show 0. This is not really one that you would use with numbers. For example, this is when you want to show metrics measures that have a true or false, and therefore you add, for example, an X, right? Like let's say these are the metrics, or these are the values for this specific section. And finally, you can also change this to a custom. Custom just shows empty. That's it. You can also reorder sections. So for example, if I click here on section 2, but I wanted to make it the first section that is displayed, you just simply click here to go up. You can also move it down again like this. And you can finally delete it if you click here to delete and confirm yes, and it's gone. The last thing I want to show you is you can export these to a file that you can make a lot more edits or customizations with the full freedom of Excel. You click here, export, you define the file name, format, and where you want the file to be saved, and then you export, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun with it.